Hi, so this is my Mirena update. On March 17th, I had the Mirena IUD inserted, and 8 days after that, I did a video talking about my positive experience, or at least not negative experience of having it inserted. And I thought I would do a 3-month update. So today is June 7th, 2015, and I had it inserted March 17th, 2015. So it's been about 3 months or so. I've had about 3 periods on it. So my periods are not gone yet, but they've gotten lighter and lighter and lighter. If you watch my earlier video, I talk about how the Mirena IUD, which is a hormonal IUD, lets off very small amounts of progesterone into your uterus, and trace amounts of that small amount leak out into your bloodstream. So you do have some progesterone hormones that get to your entire body. And a lot of women, after about a year, their periods will shut down completely or become so light that they're not a nuisance. Right now, it's so light that it's still kind of a nuisance. No one likes to have their period, but it is so light right now that my last period was barely 3 days and barely needed, more than one tampon for every day. It's getting lighter and lighter. The first period took me by surprise. It was heavy, and it lasted just over a week, which is typical. Some unfortunate women, for some reason, it will last because their body is adjusting and also adjusting to the new hormone, not just the new parasite. And some of them claim that they have like a running period for like 2 months where it's like constant. And that just sounds horrible. I haven't had that. I've had spotting off and on, which the spotting barely needs like a light days. I'm going to get graphic because I wish other people had been graphic with me. So, and I know that if you're watching this, you're probably a woman who is considering getting the Mirena IUD and looking for feedback. So, or a partner of a woman who is considering it, who just wants some information. So I'm going to give you information, real information. I was a little worried about my husband when we had sex, but we waited the full week, which is what my doctor advised, before having sexual intercourse, and he has yet to feel it. I think within that week, the string which was long, was allowed to soften and start coiling, and so if he did feel it, it didn't hurt, and although he claims he hasn't felt it. So, and we've been pretty sexually active since the Mirena. So, some side effects, some interesting side effects. So one, there has been super light spotting throughout the 3 months. I've had days where I haven't had any spotting, and most of the time I don't even notice the spotting until I use the bathroom, and I wipe and there's a dab of something. Sometimes only 3 times has it been actual true menstrual blood, and those were when my body was actually going through a period. Most of it is just discharge, and I remember hearing a lot of stories, and also my doctor informed me there was going to be excessive discharge for 6 to 12 months as your body adjusts. So, it's pretty normal. Let's see, my sex drive has gone crazy high. It was almost like too high there for about a month. Like, I couldn't get away from it. It was just like right there. So now it's still really, really high. It's just not like right in my face or right in the forefront of my brain all the time. It's definitely there. Like the top 5 things I think about now. But, and everything's still pretty sensitive. But not like it was crazy so, but things are still pretty good. Strange side effects. I've had 2 times now during my ovulation cycle where I have lactated, and that was interesting. Looking down, and it wasn't much. It was just a tiny. It wasn't like a squirt or anything. It was just something I noticed in my bra. One time I woke up and there was like an obvious wet spot. and there was an obvious wet spot on my shirt. And so it's just been a few times. It's kind of interesting because I haven't lactated since, you know, I breastfed my kids. It's super normal. I mean, some women lactate a little bit every single time they ovulate, or every single time they have a period. So for some women, it's really normal to have a little lactation. There was 1 month where my breasts seemed to like grow like, you know, twice their size. For about 3 days, my bra hurt. For about 3 days, I couldn't have anyone. I couldn't have my husband touching. I barely wanted to touch it in the shower. For about 3 days, they were really engorged, and then that's when I lactated. So I'm sure that's why, you know, my body had actually produced some milk, and I was engorged, and then I lactated, and it all went away. So I know, weird, right? This is what hormones do. So, but ever since then, so that happened the second month. My second cycle on the Mirena was pretty painful breast-wise. It was really sore, and that's when I lactated. And then the last month, or the last time I did my cycle, this last time, it was just a tender, but not where I'm like wanting to scream. But yeah, I mean, nothing terrible. I have noticed, because it was progesterone does, if you look up progesterone, it is a hormone that can cause acne. And I haven't really had what you would define as acne, where it's like, when I think of acne, I think of like bumps all over your face. I think of just like a pizza. My son calls it pizza face. That's what I think of when I think of acne, and I have not had that. But I have had more pimples during ovulation. If I'm going to get a pimple, it's going to be during ovulation. That's always been the case since I started my period, and it was never too bad. I've just noticed more pimples have sprouted up, and I know it's the progesterone. And I've taken steps to help my face. That seems to be sprouting some more pimples. It's only a few days out of the month that's been happening. So, you know, I've just been exfoliating, making sure I wash my face. I go to bed with a clean, scrubbed face. Then I wake up in the morning and I make sure to start my day off with a clean, scrubbed face before I do anything horrible to it, like put makeup on it or whatever. So I've taken steps, and it seems to have helped. As you can tell, nothing terrible. I mean, I do have makeup on, but trust me, if it was horrible, you would see. So nothing too horrible. So, so yeah, so there's my update, some kind of interesting things, nothing terrible yet. Nothing terrible, no headaches. Now, I am one to get a migraine, a really bad migraine, at least once a month, if not a few times a month. I was so bad that before I was getting them once a week. So it's kind of cool to be migraine free. I don't know if I can blame I don't know if this is because of the Mirena, but it's definitely, it's correlated. So if anything, it's correlated. So yeah, so if you have there might be something that, if you have a question that I'm not getting to, because I'm trying to do this video as fast as I can. I'm about to head out with my kids to the beach. Please let me know, and I will either answer it in the comment section, or, you know, if it's something that I really need to go into great detail about, I'll just make another video just about that question. All right, so stay informed, and don't let every story scare you, and I will see you on the next video.
Now this is the tale of a girl who lived in a faraway land. She dreamed of being a star, was dealt the cards not in her hand. She never let it get her down, see, she had a plan. She would build a rocket and get up off of that rock, call home full of crabs and clams. Man, all she ever wanted was to shed a little bit of light and shine, but not in a bling way with diamonds, nah, it was more sublime. To give kids hope in the darkness, looking for a glimmer.